Hi, welcome to the Business Gene with Judy Jewett. I am so honored and grateful that you're here, and I'm so excited to introduce our guest. So I'm going to jump right in and tell you a little bit about our guest. So Danielle Eyman is the founder of Wealthy and Aligned by Human Design, a human design and gene key coaching business, empowering women to find their unique path to prosperity using the high frequency formula. Danielle hosts a weekly podcast called Wealthy and Aligned by Human Design with the purpose of empowering women to get paid to serve the world with the immense value they have inside. She spent 24 years as a registered nurse before realizing corporate was not the way to financial freedom. Tired of the constant financial rock bottoms and sick of burning herself out in a career she didn't love, Danielle found a human design experiment and within 3 weeks was hooked. The human design experiment has allowed Danielle to become a $1 million earner in less than 2 years. She healed her dysfunctional relationship with alcohol and brought her broken family back together forever. I'm getting chills. That is just so beautiful. Danielle believes that life of abundance is every woman's birthright and that alignment with your energetic destiny is the fastest way to achieve it. So Danielle, thank you so much for being here.
You're so welcome, Judy. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh,
Yeah.
you have such a unique gift. And this show is for mystics, esoteric believers, of business owners, of science and spirituality. It's all of it, right? And when you study human design and the gene keys, it really is your cosmic profile, right?
Yeah.
With astrology, it
Yeah.
truly is where you reach your full potential. And
Yeah.
your gift is so unique because you really activate and help you activated your own money codes for tremendous success that it flows to you, right?
Yes.
And you're
Yeah.
so generous showing and helping other women do the same.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. It's everything to me. I just thought if I could do it, it's just lonely old me out here, then everyone could do it. And I thought if I could help one other woman, I know that I've fulfilled my destiny, my purpose, my whatever you call it at that time, right? I was just like, I know somebody else needs this.
Yes, and I am in one of your courses, and I want everyone who's listening to know that your courses, your classes are first class, and you give so much more value than anyone can imagine, and you walk your talk. And what I like is that it's not always easy, right? It's not always the easiest thing, but you share everything about the struggles and how to make it work. And it's huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing I want listeners to know is I have 12 years experience in corporate sales and that's inside and outside. I've been one of the top earners in very large organizations, and I have won the President's Award. And I'm saying this for a reason with my ability to sell. But that is so old school. And I've been taught by some of the greatest people in sales. And what you do, you really pass it up. You do so much more.
Yeah. I mean, when I first realized like corporate's not for me, I have to close the door on nursing. Oh no, now I have to go into entrepreneurship for real. I was like, I'm most afraid of selling because I thought in that time in my life, I thought when I'm selling, I'm taking something from somebody else. I'm asking them for money to give me money because I need it. And then I'm not like, they're not going to have it. So I had to do a lot of work around what really money is. And which is so interesting because I was always drawn to the part in my human design chart where it's this money line. And I'm like, what? Okay, if this is like the main theme of me, what does this mean for my life? And, I have this very strong connection to my higher self. And she was always like, these are just breadcrumbs to lead you into realizing that money is a force from divine. It is not, it's a tool. It is not an energy that keeps you in, you're not surviving because you have money. That's what people think. That's what our system wants you to think, that you have to have money in order to survive. But really, it's the energy that flows through people. And my higher self told me, we have these long conversations and some of them not like, that's the thing. Like, it's not all airy fairy, like, oh, I'm so in love with, now I have my higher self. It's like, no, let's have some serious conversations here. Like, what the hell is going on down here? That kind of thing. And what she told me was, the universe is our bank. The universe is our bank. We think we're in control down here, but we're not. And the universe sends the money to the people and through the people when we ask for it. And asking for it is sales.
And it's an energy exchange.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That is a beautiful way to say it. Beautiful way. And I really would like to dive in today, because there's going to be a lot of salespeople, people in business watching this. And to really understand in the higher energies that you absolutely operate in, that there is a difference. And how do you go about being able to be in that higher energy?
Yeah. Well, it was a struggle in the beginning, because really what I had to realize was I have to let go of a lot of the way I have been. Like, I just have to let that girl go. And there is no more grasping and holding on to the way I used to do things and the who I was in the past, and really just go, from this moment forward, I am this person. And I chose to be the person of my design, the person of my destiny. And I'm speaking mostly of human design and the gene keys. Like, I looked at that and I went, I'm choosing this. And every day, even when I, wanted to go back to like the lower frequency of me, the shadow of me, I would go, nope, I'm deciding this is who I am. And then over the course of, I would say, a year, it got much easier. It was like, oh, I don't have to remind myself anymore. Like, now I remember, and now I act from that place. But I think what is going on is there is so much energy of distraction out here. And we are all distracted by fear. And it gets really, really strong and really, really hard when we hear things like an economy, or we hear things like the housing market, or when we start getting caught up into that, we start believing in that fear. And it's not easy here. It's not easy here. But if you can remember that fear really is just your teacher to show you how powerful you are, then maybe you won't like hide from it and not, make moves and decisions in your life towards it. Maybe you'll go, oh, this is just fear teaching me how to be more of me. That helped a lot. And I rewire my own subconscious. I'm always into work. I'm always working on my subconscious energy. So it took me about a year to really get into it. During that year is when I left behind my prescription medication. I left behind alcohol. And it was one of those choices where I was like, that's not the person I am. That's the person I was.
A lot of changes, absolutely a lot of changes. So in your method, I know you have a beautiful formula. So you really concentrate on knowing your energy, right? Know what your energy is, understand that's who you are. So when a person gets into fear, if they know their birthright, by
Mhm.
God, this is your gift. This is what you're doing. Quit filling up your head with fear, right?
Mhm.
And that's what you're saying you kept going back to help, because you, in a very short time, made $1 million.
Yeah.
That is unheard of.
Yeah.
You didn't come from the 3D world of competition.
No. See, it's the opposite. The reason that million came in so quickly is because I don't buy into competition. I really do believe there is enough for everybody. There's enough creative energy. There is enough clients. There is enough intellectual property. There's enough for everybody. And if we work together, we're using the laws of nature. If we
Mhm.
work together to do the thing we're all trying to do, then we're using the laws of nature to catapult us into doing that. So from the very beginning, I was like, I'm not here to look at so and so guru and say, oh, they're doing it and they're doing it this way. So I better copy that way and I better do it and I can do it better and I can do it quicker. Like that was never ever any part of my energy behind going into my marketing, behind going into my service for my clients. I just knew, because she told me, you start with one. You start with one person, you do it really, really well. And that person, of course, I way more, like I got inundated with people. But what you see is your themes with people. The universe sends you your fractal line, is what I teach and call it. It's what's called in the human design world. So we have a fractal line, and those people bring us the problems we're here to solve for the world. And you get to pick. Most of my clients came to me with, I want to make more money. I can't figure out this money thing. I want to make more money in business. And I just kept going back to, wow, that's interesting because I have this money line. And of course I could help you do that. Right. But I didn't have the confidence in the beginning to be like, market myself as I can help you do that. So what I did was I just helped these people do the thing with money, and their results blew me away. And then I claimed it. I claimed it. I helped you do that. I helped you do that. I share it with everybody. And I know if one person can do it, a million people can do it. If I can do it, Judy can do it. Everybody can do it, right? It doesn't matter your age, your ethnicity. You have a design, you have a birthright. And if you are wondering what that is and you haven't found it, then there's still time, right? It's not over yet.
Well,
Yeah.
that is correct. And I do download other people's human design charts and the gene keys. And the gene key is my mojo that I like, that I really go on. And thanks to you, I'm now really understanding human design. But the
Oh,
thing
good.
that when I've looked at other people's charts, and quite a few people that I've happened to meet are manifestor generators, which we know there isn't, what is it, 9% are manifestor generators?
Yeah, they're not, generator aura is like 70%, I believe.
Yeah.
It's most of the world. And the manifesting generator is, I can't remember the percentage, but I know it's a lot. It's like we're not,
Right.
there was just an influx of them. Last year, there was just a 4-month influx of them. So that's interesting. I wonder what's going to happen in the future. What are they needed for?
That's
But
that's
yeah.
perfect. Yes. Yes. And because I just did two charts for 16-year-old and a 13-year-old, and they both are manifestor generators. High evolved, trying to fit into this world, having
Mm,
their issues. But even the adults, and that I've looked at the charts, that you're the only one that has the full money line completely colored in.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
it doesn't mean you're the only one, right? Because
No.
exactly. But the point is it's that is really your mojo gift of the sub.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the subconscious, the spiritual gift.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the way that and no, I'm not the only one with the money line. And the way the money line works in my work with my clients is like we were saying, you borrow it. you're tapped into it, you're using it. And when you guys come to calls and you ask me the right questions, then I'm getting the answer you need and tapping into the energy that I have. One of them is the money line. So the way that I figured out how this worked was, of course, as we all do, going through my own shit, my own hell with money. You know, I had one bankruptcy. I tried to claim bankruptcy a second time. I wasn't able to do it. So I knew I was like being blocked in some way. I had a short sale of my family home. During my divorce, I was just financially rock bottomed, and I had to build myself out of that. And I didn't know at the time what I was doing, right? All of the gift of human design came to me after I had gone through all that, but was in this state of why? Why did I go through all that? Like I was asking the better question. And she's always telling me that. She says, ask the better question and I'll give you the better answer. I'm like, damn, what kind of questions do I need to come up with, you know? So
she's giving me the $1 million question. Why don't I the answer? Why don't I know it?
But, you know, when I was asking that question, like, why was all this happening to me? The answer was, here's human design and the gene keys, and now it's time to figure it out. And when I went in and saw the money line, I was like, okay, well, let me learn all I can about it. You know, I'm a 1-3, so I'm going to learn everything I can about it, and then I'm going to try it out, see how it works. And what I found out was that money is an energy that loves to take care of us. It loves to come in and save the day. So whenever we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, meaning we go out in the world and we share our work and we do the vulnerable work of selling, which is asking someone to, give us the money in exchange for our value. And every time we do that, money is allowed to come in and save the day, just surprise us, take care of us. And when I leaned into that and did that in my own life, I was able to help other people do that as well and saw that it worked in the same way, right? So it is really a gift. When I think of gift, the money line being the gift, I think great, because I have to go through it over and over and over again. I have to keep reminding myself over and over and over again of the power of the money line, which can get a little, like, all right, can we take a day off of that for a minute? But that's my work, and that's what I'm committed to show up and serve the world with.
Yes. And there are other manifestor generators that'll say to me that the money's not as important as making the difference, right?
Yeah.
And so it has to be a balance for you and everyone else.
Yeah. Well, here's my thoughts on that. Like, I've never been able to make more of a difference than when I have money. Like, I'm able to contribute to the causes that inspire me. I'm able to support other people in their endeavors of, creating their own businesses and they're getting their own movements out into the world. I'm able to create platforms like the high frequency formula, where that will host and bring in people to further their movement. Money is a tool to impact. So if anyone is saying it's not important, I want you to go in and say, truly, what is important? And your impact is your duty. It is your duty to move your work and your wisdom and your gift out into the world. That's how you create the difference.
That is so, I agree. That is so true of how it works. And two things I want to bring up, because there'll be people that are into business that are watching this that understand how the old school is, right? Competition, always on you, always, always, always. And then you have practitioners and you have the healers that they have a problem with asking for money. And even if they don't tell you they do, there really is a problem. There really is, because their value is the most important thing. And I heard you say in one of the programs I'm listening to that when you go according to I mean, what your purpose is and your why has to be so strong, and it's going to be ego driven because it's got to be about you, right? You want to save the world, then you better have some money, right? I mean, exactly what you're saying. You have
Yeah.
to. And when you
Yeah.
focus on the whole picture and there's no competition, like, I got to have money, got to have money. Oh my God, I got to pay bills, because you're coming from your energy of alignment and it just pours in.
Yeah.
You do
Yeah.
what you
Because when
love.
you're, go ahead.
No, when you do what you love,
Yeah. Well,
you
when
do
you're
all of
focused
it.
on, I got to have money to pay my bills. Oh my God, that's fear. So that keeps you from pulling yourself up above all of the problems and seeing it with perspective, right? So if you're saying, money doesn't matter so much, well, you haven't had a lot of money then, because having a lot of money helps you stop worrying about, oh my God, I need the money. So then all that space is left up so that now you can get the perspective of, what can I create in this world? What do people need? How can I help them better, stronger, right? Not from, how do I sell them my one offer so that I get money? That is the perspective that people who say money doesn't matter don't have. Like, there's a perspective. And I noticed that after like $300,000, I noticed banks started treating me different. My family started treating me different. People in my life, my dad was like, is this legal what you're doing? Like, the world still operates as fucked up as it is on this money is power BS. So, okay, let's play the game and I'll show you what the real power is. The real power is the more money our women have to step into their highest potential, their most magnetic essence, the more power they have to shun anything that keeps them in fear. And that's the power. That's the difference.
I want you to say that again, because you just gave a huge golden nugget to the women.
Yeah. When women step into the essence of who they are, their most magnetic, beautiful self, all of them, and own it, then they get to have the power that is not what everyone else thinks the power is. When you call in the money, when you are in that state, your heart is so wide, you know what the money is really there to do. You know what causes to go donate or be a part of. You know what businesses to support. You know what foundations to build. And that's how you make the difference. That's how you make the difference with money. And then there will be a time, I don't know if it's in our life, I don't think it's in our lifetime, not too long from now, though, there will be a time where money is not the thing we trade for
That's
value.
correct. Back to the
There
Renaissance.
will be a time.
Yeah.
But money is teaching us how to be that.
That's
Money is teaching us how to be that thing where we trade, our dollar bills for the value that we need. So money has a very important job for us right now, and we have to learn it.
we do. So the other thing I want to bring up, just knowing your human design chart isn't going to cut it.
No.
You have to do the work.
Yeah.
And you have to really understand it. And as we know, the human design and the gene keys, as you say, you bring it all together. But you really have to dive in, and just getting a reading isn't going to cut it.
Yeah. It starts with a reading, right? It's the book you'll never stop reading about yourself, ever. So dabbling in it, going in and getting, more education and foundational awareness and knowledge is your duty. It's absolutely your duty. But what comes after that is the action and the embodiment, right? Because the human design system teaches you how to make decisions. So when you're learning, when you know how to make decisions, then you know how to work with universal law. And that's what the universe is trying to get us to understand here. There are laws of energy that we are not working with. And the universe is trying to help us work with these laws of energy. So using your decision making and start seeing the reality change is how you step into more and more of the potential, the magnetism, the gift that you are. But it takes embodiment and action. And I mean, for me, it was, I have no choice but to follow this. I have no choice. But for a lot of people, what I'm seeing with my women that I work with is there's a level of comfort that women sit at, like a level of, it's not so bad where I am. Like I might have my dream home. I'm sitting on my land that me and my husband created. He's got a great job. So really, I mean, I don't really have to go out and do the thing, sell the thing, create the thing. And what's unfortunate with that, and I try to be an example of that, is if we wait too long to step into our power and our potential, the universe will take those things from you. Because the universe gives you those things so that you, the feminine, has the all empowered permission to go in and blow the world up with that power and serve the world. And what's happening is these women are just afraid to own it and step into it. And I feel like that's where I come in, is I can hold your hand in doing that. And you can do that and see the result. And then you know how to use your human design. You know how to use your gene keys. You know what is possible for you. Yeah.
Right. And you do, the other thing being that you were a nurse, automatically you're a nurturer, right? And so it's important that you carry such strength, and you're going to kick ass if you have to. You need to kick somebody's butt, you will, but you carry the heart also, right?
Yeah.
The mother energy, that you have to be strong, but I'm here to hold your hand, to help. And you do that really well. I'm so grateful that you're here. Just so grateful that you're here for the world, and you're here to make a huge difference. And with the changes in the world, we have the ability to change the expression of our genetic coding. And that's what you're doing. That is your alignment, is to help. You're helping to do that, and it's huge. Is there anything else you would like to share? Any golden nuggets that you could give? And then I want to make sure you give your contact information, and in the description does have your information people can click on too also.
Yeah. I think the one thing that I really want to empower anyone listening is to realize that this is the life, you get to have it. This is the life, if you choose to step into your potential, is the one that you get to have it. It's safe, and the world is ready for it. The world has not been ready for it up until now. I've been told many times that the world had to be ready for my teachings, because these teachings are advanced teachings. These courses and the groups that I carry, they are for the woman who is willing to stand in and willing to take that power for herself. But I just want to tell you that it's safe to do that now, whereas it hasn't been safe in many lifetimes before. This is the timeline. This is the reality. This is the one that is safe. And if you want to join my crew, then you can come into my Facebook group. A lot of people hang out on Facebook. So we have a group on Facebook where we dump a ton of value into our value posts and our videos. I'm in there once a week. I'm answering questions. You guys all get the first release of any of my offers, my bonus pricing, and I know Judy will link the group down below for you.
Yes, it's just an honor. Thank you very much. I do have to tell a quick story in my career of sales that I had a job, and I'm serious about this, that I was number one doing what I was doing. And the general manager would tell the guys, because I always seemed to work in the guys field, and would say to the guys, "You're going to let that woman beat you? Or you're going to let that woman win?" Yeah.
And that's the story of a lot of women, you know, and the way that women have risen to the top is I am going to beat you. I am going to win. And that's the subconscious programming we have that, you know, we threaten men. Let's just say it. When we are in our power and in our highest self, we threaten men. But in that so doing, we allow men to step into the highest version of themselves. And it's time for that.
It absolutely is time. And yes, absolutely. Just it's time for all of us to rise up and be all that we're here to be. And
Yes.
that's absolutely our gift to the world.
Yeah. I mean, and I'll say, Judy, you have a gift. You have a gift that the world needs. And it's an honor to be here to have this conversation with you and hopefully touch anyone who's listening with your gift, with my gift, however we can work together to make that
Yeah.
happen. It's a privilege.
It's yes, I feel very honored to work with you and just enjoy your classes so much. And like I said, I mean, I've been around the block, right, a few times, but I'm so fascinated by what you do.
I
And
love it.
and I'm thinking, okay, now what am I going to learn? You know, how is this going to be different? And you just blow me away.
Ah,
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you so much for being such a gift.
You're welcome. It's an honor. It's an honor to do it.
Yeah, thanks. And I will be back next week with Business Gene.